it's Mary. Welcome back to my channel where we talk about all things related to the storytelling industry. In today's video, I'm going to talk a little bit about how to craft your plot crafting, using visual aids and music. Like most writers out there, I have 5 million ideas floating in my head and I can write them all down, but very rarely do I flush these out into an actual story and get the story written down on paper, computer, whatever. That's really my biggest issue. I deal with a lot of writer's block, and over the years, I have tried really hard to get past that writer's block. One of the ways that I've done that is by learning how to plot my story. I am definitely a plotter. I know some people are pantsers. That's okay. And some of us are plantsers, and that's okay too. But I'm definitely a plotter. I will say that even if you're not a plotter, I do think that creating visual aids or music to help you write is going to be a huge help for you in general, and it helps me get past a lot of writer's block. So let me explain what I mean by using visual aids and music to write. Well, first and foremost, when I'm plotting any story, I of course come up with what is my story about. And when I'm at this stage of the story, it can be very, very basic. So it can be like small town romance, middle of the country, dude in a cowboy hat, blonde chick, high school, I don't know, second chance romance. I don't know. It could be very, very basic, right? And then I start thinking about who are my characters, more about the setting, that kind of thing. And then what are some basic things they're going to go through during the story, right? Just a very basic outline of the characters and the story. And then I actually use Pinterest to flesh out the rest of the story. So a lot of my boards are hidden. I do actually have one, I believe that's public on my Pinterest. Do I have my Pinterest on my, I don't know if, okay. If I don't, I will add Pinterest to my description below so you can check it out. But I actually have a board for the Costello series that I'm working on, which is my Kindle Vella story that I've got, Mafia story. So the very first thing I like to do is I like to find models that represent my characters so that I have a good character description. Another author who does this really well is actually Cora Riley. She does the same thing on her Pinterest, so I'll also link her Pinterest below so you can see hers as well. But I spend a lot of time going through and who are my characters? Who are some models that look like my characters? If you look on my Costello board, you will see that I have basically models pictures up there, and I'm like, this is who is this and this is who is this, because I want to visually see the character in my head. So I try to find the person that best fits them. I will also do things like different clothes they would wear, different locations, this house that looks like the house I'm envisioning, or a garden that looks like the garden, or this hotel that looks like the hotel. So basically, I'm almost creating a storyboard. Now, you don't have to use Pinterest to do this. I know some people who go old school. Go to the dollar store, get a science fair board or poster board, and they just like pin it up to their wall. I know people that do that all the time. I know people that would create collages in Canva. I mean, there's a million ways you can do this. If you like having it in your face and actually having it out, like pinned up on your wall so you can see it, that's fine. I use Pinterest, and a lot of times I have multiple screens. So I'll have Pinterest over here, my writing document over here, and then I can write and look at my Pinterest. But everyone does it differently. And what I found is a lot of times this will help me stay consistent in my description of an event or a place. And, you know, that way it's not, they sat in the hotel lobby on the green couch in this scene, but the couch turns brown in the next scene. If I have that visual representation, then I will always know it's a green couch and I won't mess it up. It helps with just those kind of things. But also, I will put scenes that to me are inspirational. So for example, my couple is going to have, I don't know, I'm just making something up. They're going to have a romantic kissing scene under the stars in a thunderstorm. Well, maybe I will put a picture of a couple making out in the middle of a field in a thunderstorm. That way, when I get to that scene, I have, this is what I'm trying to convey. And it helps me get the emotional side of that scene out. So I've actually found that this oftentimes helps me get through writer's block, because I'll be like, I have no clue what to do with this. And I'll just kind of scroll through and I'll be like, yes, that's it. And suddenly it ends up in my scene. So a lot of times my stories will actually play like a movie in my head. And every once in a while I'll hit a part of the movie that just like doesn't exist. And I'll use a visual representation of something to help me move past that and to actually get words on paper, so that I can move forward with the story. Another way that I love to incorporate, not really a visual aid, but an audio aid, and again, this is something a lot of authors do, is I like to have music that also helps me set the mood. So I will create playlists, and it may be songs that either just inspire me to write, or songs that will fit different scenes in the book, or songs that convey how a character is feeling, or songs that convey a certain time period. So for example, if I'm doing a second chance romance and I'm writing about reminiscing about some romantic moment they had in high school, I will think in my head, when were these people in high school? Well, they were in high school in, I don't know, the early 2000s, okay? Okay, well, what are some songs they would have listened to in high school in the early 2000s? And I make a playlist of those, so that when we're reminiscing about that time period, I have music to refer to that kind of puts me in the mood. Or if it's something really sad and I'm not particularly in a sad mood, I will get some sappy, sad love song about how the romance didn't work and everybody wants to cry. And then I will sit there and I will write my scene to music. But again, I have found that this really helps me push past writer's block. And I love it. I also love that there are different softwares out there, and I can't remember the name of this one that does very similar things to this. It actually creates a storyboard. What is the name of it? If you know what I'm talking about, leave it in the comments below. But there is one that's like for writers, basically. Is it Plotter? Is it Plotter? Where you can actually do this, and it's just a computer program that allows you to do a lot of these visual stuff like via its program. I know Scrivener has basically what I think Scrivener, I haven't used Scrivener in a while. It has like post-it note option where it looks like post-it notes. I don't know if that's still there. That used to be a thing. I don't know. But there's a lot of different online programs that you can do this on. I use Pinterest because I think pretty much everybody's got Pinterest. So that's why I use Pinterest. And I usually make either YouTube or Spotify playlists for my audio stuff. But I would love to hear how do you guys get past writer's block using aids like this? Do you use music? Do you use pictures? Do you use Pinterest? Do you use videos? Do you use movies? What do you use? Because I think it's so fun to hear the different ways that authors do this. And I actually really love, was it Sophie Lark? I think it was Sophie Lark who actually wrote a book, and at the beginning of every chapter, she put the song that she was playing when she, like, what inspired that chapter, which I thought was really fun, because I would get to the chapter and be like, oh, let me go listen. I'd listen to the song, and then I would read the chapter. So that was really fun. A lot of authors incorporate that now. So anyways, enough of me rambling. I want to hear from you guys. What do you guys use? What do you do? And show us some examples. I would love to see how you do this for your own writing. I think it's so fun. And I love to write to music. It's so much easier to write to music. I know some people have to have quiet, but I like music. So let me know how you do it in the comment section below. Let me know how you're doing. Share whatever you want to share. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.